Hi guys, welcome to Riding with Marshall one more time. You know, I love the weird bikes, the bikes that don't survive on the market for very long. And behind me is one of those. Behind me is Yamaha's answer to the Goldwing. It's not the first time that they answered to a Goldwing, but in 2018, which this model is, this is their answer. It is so similar to a Goldwing, it's scary, except for the engine is completely different. So what do we have here but a Yamaha? It's a Yamaha Star Venture Continental. So the King of the Hill, the flagship of the Star line. So this has, because it's a Continental, it has the floodlights, as you can see there. Previous owner has added strip lights for visibility. But I think anybody that saw one of these on the road would ask, what is that? Is that a Harley? That don't look like no Harley. It has the headlights of like a car, doesn't it? I mean, it kind of, I don't know, am I thinking Corvair? Firebird? I'm not sure. LEDs in the mirrors, very nice. Air deflectors. Down here we have air vents as well. And the reason why you need those air vents is because of that thing right there. 113 cubic inches, that is 1854 cc's, a little more than the standard wings. And those massive push rods. The surprise here is that this bike, which weighs 963 pounds, has no radiator or water cooling. No radiator, no water cooling. It is air cooled. So I think we might want to leave these vents open, like permanently. Air cleaner, but push rod. Huge, huge. So the reason is I flip the camera around one more time to talk to you. The reason why it has a V-twin is because Star, or Yamaha, the mothership company, did a survey to find out what kind of engine people liked best. You know, the Goldwings had a 6-cylinder, which is uber smooth and also somewhat soulless. I can say that I've had 4. In fact, one's in there. The BMW, the K series, that too had an inline 6, also smooth. But when it comes to the visceral feel of a motorcycle, the V-twin just really kind of brings it home, especially with the sound, which we'll get to in a minute. This engine, 126 foot-pounds of torque, and as far as good old internet AI could tell me, the same number of horsepower. That could be wrong, because what's the odds of that? If it's true, you've got more than the Goldwing. Not by a whole lot, but you got a little bit more. So this is a luxury tourer. It has cruise control, heated seats, heated grips, I believe it should. It has stereo, big speakers. It has his and hers stereo. It has the same thing that the Goldwing has in one direct. Well, the newer Goldwings, the 2018 and up, have a walk mode. This has that also. I just tried it. It's really slow. Really, really slow. But effective, especially for getting out of a parking lot. And you got 45 seconds to do it, or it times out to save the battery, because it is an electric motor, not the starter motor like a wing uses. It has its, that's probably part of the weight, extra electric motor. It has storage of about 37 point something gallons of storage. Let's take a look at that. I mean, you got one little compartment here. You've got a compartment here, just like the wing. Harleys have that too. You've got, apparently we're still locked. Honestly, I've never used it before. Hello, 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 hello. Fairly spacious side kit there. You have a top case, but the first thing you'll notice about the top case is like the Firebird tail light here, or maybe T-Bird, but very classic car look, and that's what originally got me to ride one back in 2018 when they first came out. So sadly, I cannot add this to the list of bikes that I have ridden because I've already ridden a 2018 Continental. But what's under the hood? Oh ho ho! I think I can almost fit. Let's put it this way. You will not have to cram two full-size modular helmets in this space. This is a deep trunk. It's probably the deepest trunk I have seen on any motorcycle. You could probably fit his and her helmets and their jackets in here. You can lock the bike so that I can't just open it right here, or you can unlock it with the key that comes on the fob. Still, look at the tail lights down here. Now there is such a slant, I don't know how many cars are actually going to see them, but at least they'll see this part. You have a 200mm tire. You have twin pipes, one on each side. I do like symmetry. Symmetry is cool on a bike. Here's your dual antennas. His and her Sirius XM radio. A big cushy seat for the missus. It is black, it is kind of vinyl-y, it is a little warm. So on a hot summer day, if she's wearing shorts, beware. Maybe bring a towel and some water, spray some water on the towel, wipe it down first, cool it off. She has compartments here, just like a wing. A compartment here. Music controls. Heated seat control. Now, I don't know if it came with it, but here's a backrest for you. On the controls. Now, for one thing, you have forward controls, so make note of that. And this one doesn't have a rocker shifter. You don't have a heel shifter on it. So, just the floorboard, almost like a Victory Vision floorboard. You have Sure Park. Look at that. The Sure Park activates the little electric motor, which may be this one. I'm not sure. It activates the motor so that you can use this control here to walk the bike forward or backward out of a parking spot. Because as I said, it is 963 pounds. Do you feel it? A little bit. It's a little top heavy to me. I feel a little bit of wobble in the parking lots. Not wobble, just the weight. I feel a little bit of sway. So far, it doesn't wobble like my last generation Goldwings. Maybe it's the 200mm rear tire in the back, where the standard last generation only had 180 on a Goldwing. You have sizable speakers here, analog gauges, because some of us really just like a good old analog gauge. What do you do when the LCD burns out in the sun, or you have an issue and you can't see the LCD? How much information are you losing? That's where analog comes in. Can't really go wrong. So as the bike powers up, you get the logo. Accept. Who's not going to accept it? So the Continental gets GPS, as this currently has. So what do you think so far? Locking gas cap cover, windshield up and down, electric. By 2018, you better. I mean, just about everybody that has a windshield that's usable has an electric windshield. Very cool. Right there where you can get to it. It's not buried in a menu like one other brand I know. Yeah. So, should we? Dare we? Should we? Dare we go ride this bike? I think we should, because you deserve it. And you deserve my opinions. And as you know, my opinions are like armpits. I have 2 of them and they both stink. But maybe you'll get something out of this. Maybe you'll come here to my favorite dealership that has more weird bikes than just Hondas. You can try that at a Harley dealership. At a Harley dealership, you get Harleys. At a Honda dealership, you get whatever comes in. And in this case, this beautiful metallic red Star Venture Transcontinental is our ride for the day. Let's go try it. So let's say you want to use the reverse motor. You take this bar here and you put it down, press reverse, and we're going backwards in neutral. But you know what? It really is quite slow. I think we'll just take it out. The clutch is very well balanced. You can feather it like an angel. It's not like a wing that just takes off in your hands. It's very controlled. They did a great job on this. Very controlled clutch. Front brake. It's got some cushiony dive in the front. Rear brake. Rear brake's tight. Alright. First, I'm going to add a little gas to it. And you guys don't need to see that. So here I am in one of the wobbliest of conditions, which is behind a semi-truck. And the bike is handling it beautifully. It's exceptionally smooth. The seat is soft. The backrest is great. I just wish this rolling box wasn't in front of me. He's unlikely to turn off anytime soon. One amazing thing is that when I test rode the original, and this is the original, but when I test rode mine in 2018, it kept bouncing off the rev limiter. Maybe now that I'm aware of it, I'm not hitting it so hard. But it's not like I can accelerate anytime soon. The battery on the key fob is low, and so I'm getting a blinking light up there, and I'm pretty sure that's what it's telling me. Hopefully it's not going to stop the bike anytime soon. I may move the key fob to the gas filler, see if that helps. Oh, we are effortlessly doing 70. I better back it down a little bit before I run into this trucker who is preparing to stop. I'm only in 5th. I never even made it to 6th gear. I think we will turn right here, if he doesn't. I really would like him out of my way. No rev limiter. Well, not that I've hit so far. There are mountains over there. This is lovely. Let's lower the windshield just a skosh so I can get some air. I'm hot back here. Nope, down you go. Oh, the pole is nice.
Really enjoying the pull on this bike. The bars are right where they need to be. I know it's coincidental. The last video I did, I said the same thing about the CB 1100. I'm saying it here about the Star Venture. They're not so wide as some of the old cruisers were that your shoulder blades are pinched together. I have to say this bike fits me. And I am roughly 5'10". I've heard from a recent exam I'm actually less than that. It's like, we all shrink as we get old. I'm riding the roughest part of this road, which is down the center for a reason. That is to feel the bumps. And it's really quite smooth. It's a little bouncier than a wing. A wing will absorb bumps like this, you don't even know they're there. So not quite the same as a wing, but not bad at all. I'm going to pull over up here and see if I can fix this light. The key fob. Now to get into the gas can, to get into the gas filler, you have to have the bike off. So, oh, it's quiet. Alright, bike's off. Unlock. Oh, had it there for a second. There we go. See if we can fit the key fob in there. A little closer to the ignition. They don't give you much room to fit much of anything. Which makes sense. You don't want gasoline all over it. So my feet are well planted here. Both feet on the ground. Plenty to spare. The seat allows your legs to get close to you, unlike the 2018 and up Goldwings that seem to spread my legs apart. Very controlled turn, very nice. How about a better view? Speed limit's only 40, so you have to enjoy the scenery as I do. And it is scenic, see? I've never taken this road before in one of my videos, so this is some fresh meat for you. And I am enjoying this bike. Let's go to 4th. Got an anvil cloud up there. That might spell trouble later. Purple flowers. Old buggies. Clutch pull is light and easy. It's not like some of the Harleys and Indians where you really just wrench your hand to pull a clutch back. A Goldwing clutch is still a little bit lighter, but not a whole lot. This really is a lightweight clutch for such a big engine. I love the feel and the sound of the V-twin. I miss it from my Fury. I really loved having the Fury, but then I wanted the Rocket 3. And I only have room in the garage for 3 bikes. I've had 5 in there, but it really is a snot trying to get to your tools then. So we want to be in second gear when you go around. And of course I got a car. He's going that way. Ugh. So this isn't the kind of bike that feels like you're just tearing up the road, like you're a badass. This is a big heavy bike that's very controlled. As I know with Gold Wings, I gotta plan my turns and my stops a little bit more. Oh, this is lovely. I could get used to this. It is so comfortable. With the backrest and with these bars that are coming back towards me. This is nice. Now it's only about 65 degrees, so I can't say much about how hot the engine is. I've been moving, so at 65 degrees it'll cool off the engine nicely. So pleasant. I love the rumble of a V-twin. Unlike a Goldwing, the rumble of the V-twin here is ever present, but it's a nice low pitch. It doesn't sound like the Harley wet fart blats of the twin cams. Of course, by 2018, the twin cams are on their way out too for Harley as they switched over to the new Milwaukee 8 engine. So far, I think the only downside to this bike at all would be the fact that it's discontinued, and eventually, 10 years down the road, maybe parts might be harder to find. But, I don't want Prospect. Oh, I did want Prospect, because getting out of here is going to be tricky. There's no light up here. Making the left-hand turn is tricky. Let's do this. I've never been in a new high school anyway. Just make a turnaround up here. That anvil cloud's not looking too happy. Oh, so nicely controlled at slow speeds. They got the suspension right. Of course, with a little practice, I could make these a lot faster, but you do feel the weight of the bike. You don't feel 900 pounds, but you do feel a little bit top heavy. The forward controls, normally I don't care for forward controls, but in this case they give me lots of room to put my feet down when I need to. The interstate for a very short stint. 80 miles an hour easily. Accidentally even. So the $1 million question would be, what's it like if I put the wife on the back? can it handle my wife on the back and my nerves coming to stops and stuff like that, which is what kind of kills the Goldwing for me anymore. And I'll bet it could handle it easily. We'll just park it in the shade right here. Hey, look, we made the light go away. Hey, look at that. I thought of something and it actually worked. Lovely machine. Very lovely. Sigh.
So if you ever want to be a millionaire, let me tell you how. You can be a millionaire riding motorcycles if you started as a billionaire. Because I would buy half the bikes that I've ridden easily, this being one of them. This bike handled so well. It handled far better than a 963 pound machine should handle. I dare say it handles better than my wing. Now I put my wing up for consignment. It's actually inside. It's the blue and black that's in there, and I'll show you in a second. But for a 2-up rider, now once stopped, I can feel the heat off this engine. So like I said, it is not water cooled. It is not going to be a cold engine, which means a 90-degree day might be an issue. But if that's the only thing you can find wrong with it, I know plenty of Harleys and Indians that feel the same way, and many of those are water cooled now. Wow, what a beautiful motor. For 2-up riding, plenty of space. And speaking of space, I need to get my stuff out of the trunk. My gloves, my jacket. Why didn't I wear my gloves? Because I needed to work the camera and whatever other buttons I needed to work on the bike. Yes, all gear all the time. Well, safety third for me. Look at the size of that trunk. Look at the size of that bike. So come get it at Interstate Honda. You can go on their website, interstatehonda.com, and see the price and the specs and say, that's the one Marshall rode. Because they don't see these very often. Oh, that's an aftermarket windshield, by the way. That's Madstad. Very cool bike. As always, keep your chin up in the curves and in the curves of your life. The storm isn't always as bad as it looks. Thanks for watching.